Hi there, wonderful awakening beings and spiritual souls. Jo Rose of JoRose.com, numerologist and energy forecaster. And in this video, I'm sharing with you the energy forecast for 2021. Just before we get into 2021, let's recap on how we were to leave 2020. It was about grounding yourself, laying your foundations, knowing your boundaries, and knowing your confidence of how you're going to push them gently out further in the year to come. 2020 was a 4 energy, and it was all about system, structure, stability, and we saw those crumbling before our eyes within our own families, within the governments and across the globe. 2020 had 2 2s and 2 0s. The 2s are very feminine in the energy, so there was not going to be any wars or big violence because it was a caregiving energy. And what was we most focused on? Caring for one another, the elderly, and in the UK, the NHS, and I'm sure across the globe, the medical services. The 2 is about harmony, support and cooperation. It's very much a partnership. It can be very codependent. The 2 0s, well, a 0 intensifies the energy, but we had it twice, so everything felt intense, even though it was a very slow energy. Now, as we move into 2021, we've still got the 2 2s, only 1 0 and a 1. So we've still got a lot of feminine energy, we've still got some intensity, but we've got a 1. I found myself in 2020 asking where the alpha male was. It was just not there in that energy, but we've got the 1 back. So the 1 will come back and bring up some of this masculine energy. So chances are we're going to see things upset the apple cart. 2021 is a 5. How do we know this? By adding together all the digits of the current year and reducing them down. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 5. We don't need to reduce them down because it's 1 digit. So it's a 5 energy. What does that mean? It means anything goes. Experience, adventure. It's about pushing those boundaries. You'll find you're going to be less committed to things this year than you were last year. It's a much faster energy. Now we've added the 1 to this, so it's going to mean stand up on your own 2 feet, take the lead, step up, step out, speak up, speak out. Those that have been holding back, we may see a big shift coming this year. This year's a test, fear versus love. Fear will have you shrink and go inwards, and love will have you expand and go outwards. Love is the strongest energy we know, and that's where the focus needs to be. The question I'm asking you, will this year be one where you fear for your life or absolutely love your life? Some people say there is no better time to be here than now. This really is the spiritual awakening. I've mentioned it over last year and I'm going to mention it this year. It's not an overnight thing that's going to happen. We're going to see more people awaken this year. Now, most people look forward to the 5 energy because it's about freedom, adventure, travel. It's the thrill-seeking number. It's also the number of escapism. So some will be looking to escape, maybe bury themselves inwards in a bottle, in drugs, in habits and behaviours. It's very addictive numbers, and others will be frustrated if they can't travel and get around the world. I will come back to travel in a short while. The 5 energy is about risk-taking, and that will be in your personal life and your business life. When we look at the 4 energy of last year, it was about your foundations. Did they crumble? And did you reconfigure? If you did not, use the beginning of 2021 to solidify what you haven't yet solidified in your family, your work, your home, your health, and your environment. You need stability, as I mentioned in December's video, stability of the willow tree where it's grounded and rooted, but it can sway and move at the same time. Now the 5 is about change, big and progressive. It's not like the one new and fresh, but it comes with knowledge. It's about variety, resourcefulness, courageous, it's resilient, enthusiastic. It's the number of communication, the connector, adventurer. It's adaptable, and most of all, it's about free will. Freedom is important this year, so find a way, long term, not short term, to get your freedom. The flip side of the 5 can have you scattered, dishonest, irresponsible, non-committed, restless, prone to addiction, intolerant, and melodramatic. If there's one number that's a dramatic number, it's the 5. That's why I say it's going to be chaos or freedom. If you are not grounded and you've not laid those foundations, the chances are melodrama is going to happen. If you are grounded and you're more in the moment and more present, then you'll be able to deal with it and move forward. Freedoms will be tested. People have got to the point now where they cannot tolerate this stuckness, this deadness, not feeling alive. The 5 energy is not about surviving but thriving. It's not about existing but living. It's one that will expand and open you up. It's the number of the adrenaline. It needs action, change, and adventure. Seeks freedom, but it may take us through chaos. The 5 is a number that can find you sitting on the fence. Not for long, mind you, though. It's sitting on the fence. Which way shall it go? If you're grounded, you'll make a wise decision. And if not, you'll still make a decision whether you made it or you were pushed. Nothing's ever wrong or right. It's just an experience that you must work with. This year is about experience. Remember, anything goes. The way to use it is to work out if it empowers you or disempowers you. The 5 is also at the crossroads, and it's time to make a decision. Now, I've mentioned in a number of videos, I used to be challenged on making decisions. Now, if you're one of those, my suggestion has been in the past, and maybe I'll create videos on this, is to either flip a coin, I know it sounds random, or to use kinesiology. Now, in brief, what you do is you've got a question, a yes/no question, or something that you want to know is true or not true, is to find, and when I say true or not true, that's true or not true to you, to your resonance, is to give one option to heads and one option to tails, then flip the coin and see what it lands on. It doesn't matter what it lands on. What matters is the resonance of the result. If you're delighted with the result and it was the correct one, fine, go with it. But if it was the opposite and you're delighted, go with it. What you're looking for is what raises you up, that's what you want to go with, and what pushes you down is the one that you want to step away from. Another way is kinesiology. I use my finger and thumb, and I do this by asking a yes/no question again. So first of all, you need to work out with the coin, you don't, but first of all, you need to work out what your yes and no is. So your name, obviously you know your name. Is my name Joe? Mine, yes, is Joe. See, it doesn't open. I've got friends and clients where it does open. And then, is my name Sheila? It opens. See, Sheila goes through. That's my no. Find out what yours is, and then you can move forward with your question. For me, because I want to make sure I'm grounded and true to the answer, is I ask, soul am I connected? So it would be, is my name Joe? Is my name Sheila? Soul am I connected? Now I'm ready to ask my question. And a question could be as simple as, shall I turn left or right? Shall I have fish or chicken? Or it could be complex. Shall I leave this relationship or build on this relationship? Shall I move? Shall I stay? It's important that you make a decision to the resonance that feels right for you. 5 is also the bridge. It comes between 1 and 4, that's the human element of the energy, and 6 to 9, which is the spiritual aspect of the energy. It's also a way of looking that before the 5 is the past, the 5 is the present, And then the 6 to 9 is the future. We need to make our decisions in the present in order to change the future. And one of my sayings is, what can I do today to make my tomorrow better? And that's a good one to go by. What can I do today? It doesn't have to be something big. It just needs to be the next step. Now, we've entered the age of Aquarius. No longer can we sing, coming is the dawn of the age of Aquarius, etc. We are in it. So the 5 is going to ramp this energy up. I already mentioned the awakening was taking place last year. It's not a one-night thing, so it's going to continue to take place as we move forward in 2021. It's a time to find out what resonates with you. Critical thinking, not led by the media, not led by one article that you read, but to read many and work out, does it make sense? Does it feel right or not? And go with your resonance. We've been going through a COVID pandemic for a number of months, almost a year, as we start 2021. Over the Christmas period in the UK, there was a big flood in England and 1,300 people were homeless at that point, and they were given an exemption to go stay with family and friends. Now, bearing in mind, we had a lockdown here in the UK over Christmas and Christmas was basically banned. How can COVID know that you have been flooded out of your house and you're exempt? This is what I'm saying. Does it make sense? And if it doesn't, start doing your own research, or even use your finger and thumb or toss a coin every time something comes up. Does it feel right? Does it not? This year is about your freedom, and be mindful that what the media is telling you that could give you your freedom may actually take it away from you tenfold. I'm not saying it will. It's your journey to find out what's right for you. Now, 2021, that 5 energy is about adventure and travel, escapism. Now, both will bring a change, but be mindful. If you're escaping, is it for a long period? Is it in a bottle? Is it in drugs? Is it in a behavior? Is it elevating you or disempowering you? That's what you need to think about. The answer seldom lies in a bottle or in a drug. However, the people that find themselves there because they don't know how to deal with it in today's world. And mental health, emotional well-being, people are struggling with this and the figures are rising. So if you notice anybody steering towards some addictive behavior, be a kind person, put your hand out, open your heart and see if you can help them. Now, 2021 is also about travel. I feel like the travel industry, the holiday industry, the hospitality industry, while it's been hit hard last year, they're going to be doing all they can to attract you back. Now, some of them are going to want to make up their money, and you may find prices way high. You may find people offering you trips, but you can only go if you've had a vaccine. They said it was never going to be mandatory, the vaccine, but I've noticed on the government website that you can actually buy a passport if you've had a vaccine or a test that shows that you're negative. For me, I would have to decline the travel because I will not have a vaccine or the test. Nothing has proved to me yet that it makes sense for my health and well-being to do that. So I'll be looking to travel differently, or maybe on home soil. It's also a number of recreation. It's also, well, it is a number of recreation, but it's also a number of relocation. And it could be a relocation in your jobs, in your careers, in your relationships, in your home, in your country. Also a relocation of your perception. The 5 has got itchy feet and it wants to move. It hates being stuck. And after last year, many people are going to want to take action to make things different. Most of all this year, expect the unexpected. That's the only thing. The only thing that you can guarantee in 2021 is change. So you need to be able to think on your feet, turn on a sixpence, and remember 180 degrees. Now, chances are many new people will experience some form of cognitive dissonance. Now, if you've been following me for a while, the chances are you've been through it and you may still be going through it. We think we've done enough digging and researching and we're gobsmacked and spellbound by what we find out, and then we come to terms with it and there might be something else. But remember, you are the minority at the moment. I feel in 2021, way more people will awaken because they're now realizing that things like the flood doesn't stack up with regards to this pandemic. You need to be there to support those that are going through a cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance or not, use the 5 to turn things around 180 degrees. You need the opposite. There's a quote, insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Use this year's 5 energy to test something different. Start small. Look at a different way to chop or peel. Turn left instead of right. Go up instead of down. Walk instead of drive. Whatever. Do something that is out of your comfort zone and different or opposite to what you've been doing before. During 2021, opportunities and signs will endlessly show themselves. Remember, what you focus on expands. 2020 was a slow energy. It was seeking some form of certainty. If you laid your foundations, if you built up your immune system, if you know and own your boundaries, then 2021 will be a fast think and act on your feet year. Make the decisions with attitude. It's the next step. No matter the result, nothing's right or wrong. It's just going to move you forward. Do bear in mind, and that's why you need to ground yourself, that it's a long-term move forward and not a short-term. Be resilient and resourceful and be prepared for the unexpected. Most of all, focus on freedom. Free will, freedom of choice, freedom of speech. What makes you feel free? The 5 is not about chains and commitment. What you did last year, you did for the good of humanity. You did for Granny, you did for your neighbours, you did for the medical service. This year, with that 1 in the 2021, there's going to be a slight change of the energy, as I said, and there's going to be some masculine energy coming in. The 1 is about the self. You need to think about yourself because people treat you the way you treat yourself. When you treat yourself well, you become more confident, more courageous, and you stand up and you're strong. And then you begin to shine your light bigger, bolder, brighter, and better. And that inspires others to do the same. Spend some time doing things different. Be out in nature still. Don't ever forget the grounding that you need, and you keep needing to remind it should be a habit by now of getting out there and standing on the grass barefoot or touching the plants. Sense what every moment is asking you to acknowledge and release what's not serving you. Let it go. Ask today, what can I do to make my tomorrow better? What can I do now that enhances my future and my freedom? This year is about variety, experience, adventure, and anything goes. If you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, please do subscribe and push that bell for notifications. And share with your family and friends. Let's change the energy, or let's work with the energy, which is a big change and shift from last year, because it is time to stand up, step out, speak out, be open and experience what's going on. If you want to go deeper on your numerology, get in touch because I do readings, consultations and mentorships, and they are specific to you. My videos are general with the energy. Always understand that the universal energy comes in first, and then you have your personal year energy coming in on top. To understand about your personal year, you must press that bell for notifications, because in January I will gradually be releasing the personal years for 2021. Why not stay tuned so you've got more insight, because insight is better than hindsight of what's in store for you in 2021. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.